Hello.
Hello there, everybody. We gotta clap first, and that's my edit signal. That's where we're starting. Hi there. We announced this one last week for our Maxine episode, but we are. I am joined by the Beelzebub to my Belial, and we are just out of the theater for possibly my most anticipated movie, at least for the remainder of the year.
I want to be Asmodeus. Why am I... Anyway.
Whatever, man.
It's fine.
See, when I think Belial, I just think Belial from Basket Case. We gotta watch Basket Case.
No, we don't.
Okay. Horror hounds out there, Basket Case.
Longlegs.
Longlegs. I was really looking forward to this movie. This was probably... I mean, from the moment I saw the trailer for the first time...
Yeah.
I want to say I saw this trailer in front of the first Omen originally, or did we get it in front of Immaculate? Because that's a neon movie.
I didn't see the trailer with you.
Okay.
The first time.
So it must have been the first Omen, which I saw by myself.
You showed me when you got home.
Yeah. Fucking scary-ass trailer.
Scary
I was
trailer.
in. We got Nicolas Cage.
Yeah.
We are official members of the Nicolas Cage fan club. We have membership cards, the whole deal.
We have a button with his face on it.
Yeah. Nicolas Cage back tattoos, the whole works.
Tramp stamp. I want a Longlegs tramp stamp. That's what I want.
It just says happy birthday.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It's the triangle with the smiley face. That's just crazy. Or the little thingy that's hanging in his car.
Yeah.
Crazy movie.
I don't think we've entirely processed it yet.
No, there's still a lot that I have to think about.
I'm actively trying to put it together in my head still.
Yeah, I want to stay out of spoiler territory.
For sure.
This is the first night that it came out.
Don't look into it too much. I've seen a lot of people say that.
Yeah.
I think we can give kind of a general idea as far as what the plot is, which I think the trailer does a good idea of giving you what the plot is. It's a really, really good trailer because it gives you what the plot is without giving you all of the other stuff.
Yeah, without giving you the details of everything.
You don't even
else.
really see Nick Cage in those trailers.
No, you only see the shot of him like this in the pharmacy, and you don't see his face, which I think is probably the best marketing thing they could have done for this movie. Not show Nick Cage.
Just show bits and pieces of him. Because he's really fucking scary in this movie.
Fucking scary. And
really
for
scary.
No other reason if he just looks weird.
He is very uncanny valley. The way the makeup is done on him is very just abnormal. Yeah. And just very... There's something off about him.
It's not consistent. We'll talk about that off camera.
No, it is a little...
It changes a little bit. But not only that, his coloring changes, which I think is crazy.
Yeah.
Because from here up, he's one color, and from here down, the skin of where else you can see is different colors.
He very clearly has his face painted. Like, the character is supposed to have, like, makeup on of some kind.
I think he's supposed to just look bleached.
No, because you can see in that one shot where you're just seeing him from, like, the top of the nose down.
In the beginning?
You can see he has, like, makeup on his face, but his neck is normal color. Okay. It's very, like, The Grabber from Black Phone. It's very, very similar to that. This is...
Ethan Hawke's hot, though.
Yeah, Ethan Hawke is hot. Nick Cage is kind of hot.
Not in this movie.
Not in this movie.
Absolutely not. I was talking about The Grabber.
Oh, I don't think Ethan Hawke is hot in that. I just think it... I'm thinking... Remember when we watched that and he was just jacked as fuck for no reason?
I know, just sitting in the chair like the no reason.
It's because he did The Northman before it. And he's got to crawl around in a loincloth. Yeah. Longlegs...
Anyway,
I don't know how much we're gonna have to say here because my immediate reaction was I want to see it again.
Yeah.
And that's just to kind of to piece it together for myself. You're a one and done purist.
I'm a one and done type of person. Specifically, this movie scared the shit out of me. Like, I'll be honest, this movie was scary. Like, I said it coming out of the theater. This was on par with Hereditary for me.
Okay.
Just because of how unsafe a lot of these scenes are.
Very unsettling.
It's very
unsafe movie.
Yeah. I will say pay very close attention to things going or like don't just focus on rule of 3. Like, there's stuff going around, like, happening behind the scenes.
The shot composition in this movie, every shot, every movement of the camera, it's so masterfully directed. I don't think there's so much... it's directed by Oz Perkins. I can't think off the top of my head other movies that Oz Perkins has done. But it's very much... Not only are all of the actors directed very well... I don't know how much you direct Nicolas Cage, other than you just let him go.
I think they gave him a, this is what we want from you, and he did it himself.
Yeah.
I would be surprised if that man had a script.
I think Nicolas Cage might be the only one that knows, like, the real backstory of everything.
Oh, yeah, because that
might be an interesting... That's a really smart way to direct an actor like that, is this is the character. Yeah. This is the background and everything that came through. Nicolas Cage, also an executive producer on this movie.
Yeah.
So he probably had a hand in kind of creating the character. So, but everybody else, the shot composition, everything is so wonderfully put together and just ominous, and there's nothing safe about it. It constantly feels like someone is watching you or someone is following you.
The music will really get you, too.
Yes.
The music, especially in the opening scene,
see
really,
this in a
really
theater,
got me.
please.
Yeah. Absolutely see it in a theater, because if we were watching this at home, I probably would have missed half of the stuff that I caught because we could see it so well on screen.
Yeah, there were multiple times where, like you caught something before I did, and you would be like, look at that thing.
Yeah, I mean, I was pointing in corners the whole time.
Yeah.
Because once I saw what I saw the first time, I was like, oh my god, it's everywhere.
There's a little bit of it in the trailer. Just a little bit.
And see, I didn't catch any of it in the trailer. The only scene that I caught in the trailer that had that in it was the one where she's looking out the window.
Yeah.
In her house. That's the only scene in the trailer that I
That's the one. Yeah, I think that's the only one in the trailer. This movie is, I will say, it is not at all what I expected it to be.
I was just about to get into that.
I think we had two different ideas of what the movie was going to be.
Yeah.
I was expecting it to be a little bit more of a gore fest. Mm-hmm. I was expecting a little bit more, blatant, scary things. This movie is closer on the side of, a psychological thriller than it is a horror movie. That doesn't mean that it's not scary. It is certainly more unsettling and, I think, stressful than it is scary. It's very tense.
I think that it is a horror movie. I think horror is a very large umbrella.
Absolutely.
And your psychological thriller falls under that.
Yeah.
And that's what this is.
Yeah. It's certainly horror adjacent.
Yeah. I feel like we have different definitions of horror.
I'm not saying it's not a horror movie.
Yeah.
That's not what I'm saying. I'm saying it's not the conventional horror movie that I thought it was going to be.
It's not a slasher. It's not...
Yeah, but
it's not gore. It's not Hereditary. It's not, any of the other stuff that we've seen. Even though I personally would categorize Hereditary as a psychological thriller.
Yeah, absolutely.
Gory, for sure. Yeah. Absolutely. Yeah. But,
it's much more... It's very much closer to... a movie that I'll never make you watch, which is Seven, it's very procedural. It is about FBI agents.
Kind of reminds me of The Others with Nicole Kidman.
Okay.
I don't know if you've ever
I've never seen that.
I want to say it's Shyamalan.
Okay.
Very, very similar in the aspect of it's tense and it's unsettling.
Yeah, for sure.
So, in addition to the extra stuff.
Yeah, but it's a lot more of, we are seeing the scary parts. I wouldn't, it's them kind of, there's a lot of weird flashback things, which I love how they play with perspective.
Oh, yeah, the frames, I thought that was so cool.
The shaping of the frames and all that kind of stuff. Because there's a lot of interesting... swaps to different camera styles and camera mediums and all that kind of stuff. But it is a lot more people going over records and doing investigations into things and breaking codes, and it's... It's a lot more organized.
Mm-hmm.
It doesn't have it's not as chaotic as I thought it was going to be.
Yeah.
Because watching the trailer, like, one thing I said to you after the most recent trailer, like the final trailer that, like, was the one that we started getting to see, like, when we go to the movies, I was like, there's so much movie in here.
Yeah.
Like, the trailer, and it's an hour and 45 minutes. It's not a very long movie. It felt really short to me. I did get up to go to the bathroom at one point, which I never do, but it felt...
You missed nothing.
Yeah, it felt really, really short, and there's not nearly as much movie as I thought there was in there.
There's a lot of people just doing things.
Yeah. I don't know if it quite lived up to my expectation. I was definitely not as viscerally disturbed by it as you.
Yeah, I was certainly disturbed. I'm still disturbed. Like, on our drive home, I was like, I'm scared to look in my rearview mirror.
Yeah.
Like, I checked the closet when I just went into the bedroom a few minutes ago. Like, it makes you question and look around, and that's the frightening part.
Yeah.
The longer I sit and think about it, the angrier I get. About the twist and about the additional stuff going on in the film. Yeah. I feel like it takes away from what it could have been.
I'm okay with it for the most part.
It's fine, and I think the movie was great. That just because I didn't like that part, I don't think, I still think the movie was phenomenal, and I loved it. But I think that there's a level of scary to it that would have been better without it.
Yeah, for sure.
But I understand why that's something we got 2 trailers regarding something very similar before this film.
Yeah.
It scares a lot of people.
Yeah.
And,
I think for the sake of what the plot is and what, like, I think they were trying to do, and that's a little bit of, like, what Seven is, where it's that movie is, like, hyper graphic, like, crazy, violent, like, it's not a movie for you. Like, we can watch it if you want to.
No, but,
I don't. Where I was expecting, I figured there was some sort of supernatural element to it. And the movie is kind of going back and forth between, is there a supernatural element and is there not?
Yeah.
And it kind of settles on there is. Yeah. Which is kind of what Seven does, where it's like, okay, there's these crimes that are happening and there's all these things that are happening, but something's off about it and something is unnatural about it. And then in the end of the movie, okay, it turns out there was some shit going on.
Yeah. For any of our lovely viewers who watch Criminal Minds, I was watching this film thinking, this is playing like a Criminal Minds episode.
Yes.
And it's much, much scarier, but thinking on how a Halloween run of a Criminal Minds episode runs, where they toy with that same thing, where, we know it's not supernatural, but they're trying to play at it.
I would watch the fuck out of Criminal Minds if it was shot like this movie.
Oh my god!
And it was if it had the same, like, ambiance as this movie.
Criminal Minds Evolution, I think that's what it's called. The newest stuff that's on is supposed to be like it's very dramatic in that sense. Nothing felt safe. There's a lot, regardless of the supernatural that is brought into this. I think that it did benefit from all of its religious connotations.
Yeah, absolutely.
Because and I think even if the supernatural was not involved, it's still very vital to the plot line. Yeah. And I think that's where I think it could have benefited more, is from it not being supernatural, or having, toying with it at least. I think it could have made that a little more. I
think that kind of connotation, that religious connotation, is kind of what I'm falling back on as far as, like, we'll talk about it when off camera, so we don't spoil anything. But I think I kind of have at least what I think my theory is pieced together. Yeah. A little bit.
Okay.
And
this is a thinking movie.
At least the framework of it. Yeah, it gives you. I think if you're going in, we had a packed audience.
Oh yeah. I saw 3 empty seats.
Yeah, we had a really, really packed audience, which is awesome. Glad people are going out to see this movie, because they absolutely should.
Yeah.
in short, go see it. It's awesome. But I think you can watch this movie. I think it does have a relatively accessible. I think it's relatively accessible for the regular moviegoer, but for weirdos like us that want to dig into it and like rip it apart and figure out what's going on, it's also great for that. Because I think you can get into it and be like, okay, cool, there's some creepy shit going on, whatever, awesome, next. And then there's us that are gonna have an hour-long discussion about it after this.
Yeah, deep dive into that, because I have a lot of analyses I'd like to do, because there's a lot of movie there still. Even though a lot of it's just, bro, we're doing the thing, there's a lot of stuff. And I think there's a lot to look at. I think that their set design...
incredible.
And whoever did their scouting... was incredible, because they picked some really scary fucking locations.
Yeah. It is a 90s period piece.
That's right.
Yeah. Because we got the big fucking Bill Clinton picture in the background, which is very funny.
The FBI station. That's hilarious.
So, yeah, we haven't said her name yet. Micah Monroe is playing Lee Harker, the main character, the protagonist of this movie. She's incredibly, it's a very subtle performance. Which is, I think, something you need for this movie.
Really? I thought she had everything just gnawing at the bit. It was all in her mouth. She was doing so... I thought it was so incredible.
What I mean by that is it's in direct contrast, which is going to kind of play into my theory here. It's in direct contrast to Nicolas Cage's performance, who is up.
Oh, explosive. Super he's up here the entire
where
fucking
everything
time.
That she... You can tell so much with her performance. Subtle, what I mean by subtle is you can tell that there's so much going on in that character's head. Yeah. And we had kind of the conversation of maybe she's on the spectrum slightly.
Oh, yeah, she's so coded.
Yeah.
Like, the whole time.
She doesn't, make eye contact with people. She's hyper-obsessive.
She's very
anxious.
Her mannerisms, everything she does. I mean, even the way she organizes and does her work and speaks to children, which is really funny.
Yeah.
There's a really funny scene with a kid. Had a couple of good people giggle.
This movie is surprisingly funny.
There's some good stuff.
Yeah. But she's very reserved. That's a character that I think you could take up
a lot.
That it's a performance that you absolutely could play up. But again, I think it's so well directed that Oz understood that he needed to kind of take that performance back a little bit and have it be a little bit internal, because she is kind of our character insert for the movie.
Right.
We go through the movie kind of with her.
Yeah.
Even to the point where, she doesn't particularly remember it, but we see kind of the inciting incident of everything at the very beginning, and that's all the context we have for it, because that's all she can remember.
Right.
So...
Also, jump scares.
Yeah,
there's some real good jump scares.
There's some solid jump scares.
Yeah. And that plays in with the changing of perspective as well, because right there in the beginning, that first Nick Cage jump scare where you barely see his face.
Yeah.
Oh, that got me.
Yeah.
That really... I jumped. The person next to us was giggling.
Yeah.
He totally told his girlfriend that watching me watch the movie was funny.
Yeah.
Because I was behind my hand the whole time.
For those of you that don't know, Nikki is a reluctant horror hound.
Yeah.
She did not grow up on horror movies as I did, but we're getting her into it. So she's still figuring it out a little bit. But I think to say you're an official horror hound now.
Yeah.
You're welcome to the community.
Thank you.
Cool.
I've been here for 4 years. It's fine.
Yeah.
One of the first films we watched was Hereditary.
Yeah, that might be
my mother's
the
living
second
room.
movie we ever watched together.
It was.
Yeah.
I don't remember.
And then Blair Witch Project. So.
Well, it was that, and then we watched The Vitch.
Oh, we did watch The Vitch.
Yeah, and then you made me watch Midsommar.
Man.
All in one frickin' weekend.
Yeah,
Thank you.
we keep getting the Robert Eggers Nosferatu trailer.
I'm so excited. I'm so excited for Lily Rose Depp in that.
Appointment viewing.
Yeah.
We will be there. Oh, if there's an early access, we will see it. It comes out on fucking Christmas.
Yeah.
So
she's oh my god.
Stay tuned for that.
She's gonna be a new Scream Queen.
Yeah, you can...
Because that scream in the trailer...
Yeah.
Oh my god.
You can just inject that movie into my fucking veins.
Is that, Aaron Taylor-Johnson in the trailer?
I believe he is in that movie.
Okay, because, like, there's a scene where...
And Nicholas
Willem
Hoult,
Dafoe's...
obviously.
Yeah. Well, Willem Dafoe's behind him, and it's, like, looking through a window at him, and his head's turned, and I'm like, that looks like Aaron Taylor-Johnson.
Yeah.
That's so exciting.
You still haven't seen The Lighthouse, have you?
No, I've seen The Lighthouse.
Oh, have you? Okay, yeah. Very nice. I don't know. Yeah. Look at you, horror hound. Longlegs.
Phenomenal. Go see it.
Go see it. Again, it's a relatively small movie in the grand scheme of things. I hope it gets a lot of traction, and people go see it. We get more movies like it. Stuff that is a little bit headier and a little bit less pizzazz, like. Listen,
it doesn't need to be flashy.
Yeah.
It doesn't need to be like, watching the trailers before this movie, there were a lot of very flashy and very, like exuberant films. I'm thinking Smile, too.
God fucking damn it. I tried to watch that first Smile movie. Guys, you can keep it. Didn't like it.
That trailer's dog shit, by the way.
Oh, super bad trailer.
It's awful.
Yeah.
There is one that I was excited about, the Demi Moore and Margaret Qualley.
Margaret Qualley.
Substance, I think is what it's called. It came out of Canes.
Yeah. So, and Honora.
Honora looks really, really good. Yeah, that one's
That was a Palme d'Or, I think.
Yeah.
That one, that.
Yeah.
Go see it. It's certainly worth your time.
Yeah.
I think if you go into it, pay attention. This is not a tall glass of water movie by any stretch of the imagination. It is a starkly sobering experience.
Yeah.
And we like our big dumb horror and all that kind of stuff. I'm looking at our autographed picture from Bonnie Aarons of Valak. The Nun movies are fucking stupid. They are, but I love them more than anything.
They're fun though.
And this is not that. Okay, this is a movie.
This movie takes itself seriously.
Yeah. This movie trusts you to do the same thing. Yeah. So please do that.
It does the thing. It does something I absolutely love. I love it when a movie does not insult its audience intelligence.
No.
Like The Nun. No, I think that this movie is very smart. I think that it was very smartly done. All of the performances are brilliant, even down to the little kid. I think, and it's beautiful. It's beautiful. I would like to add also, in the scenes where our main character Lee gets really worked up.
Yeah.
The camera changes to her breathing.
Yeah.
Which is really, really cool.
Yeah.
And it's another one of those, you are watching all of this through this character.
Yeah, absolutely.
So you are supposed to be feeling what this character is feeling, and the camera work and those scenes, her breathing and all that stuff, I think that it's wonderfully done, and it really puts you into that, oh, fuck.
Yeah. Go see it. It's certainly worth your time.
Yeah.
It's an hour and 45 minutes, man. It's super worth it. Nicolas Cage, we love you. Come on the show.
So
I know I said it was stupid, but Bonnie Aarons, we love you so much. Come on the show. I think the next thing, I don't think we're going to see anything else this weekend, so Twisters is the next on our list right now. Is the next one on our list, so we should be going to see that in IMAX Wednesday.
Oh yeah, because we got
Wednesday,
an early viewing on that.
Early access IMAX screening, so stay tuned for that. Follow us on all the stuff, like and comments and do all the stuff. Let us know what you thought of Longlegs. Until next time.
Yep. And I've been Nikki.
And take it easy.